Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the updated Yakima StageTwo bike hitch rack. The Yakima StageTwo rack is a bike hitch rack that's the most premium offering from Yakima at the current time, and it's been recently updated for 2025 with improved usability and aesthetics. As you can see, it's shipped in one big box, so you get everything in there. Assembly time is about 30 minutes. There's a couple bolts here and they take some time to torque down. But you can see everything's really well packaged and pretty easy to put together with simple instructions. As far as specs, the current retail price is $949.99, so a little bit more expensive than the original. It's a dual tray rack system, but it also has a $650 extension available. So if you have the 2-inch version, you can actually add another 2 rack on the rear. Really overbuilt with 70-pound rating per tray, so you can put e-bikes on here. And they have a very simple design with the strong arm hook on the front, so no frame contact that cinches down, integrated locks, and anti-theft bolts. So a really nice system, and the whole thing can tilt down or up to give you additional accessibility. As you can see here, assembly is pretty straightforward. The trays come in 2 pieces. You just slide them together, and there's some markings on there like the Yakima logo that help orient it. So the rear one has the logo and the front one does not. You get these anti-theft bolts, but of course you can buy the adapters for them, so they're not really that secure. You would need a torque wrench if you actually want to hit the torque. It does not include a torque wrench, just a simple Allen key. And then the strong arm you see has a lineup. You have to line up the arm with the actual tray to install it, and it has a little cone bearing on the outside that requires pushing the arm inward a little bit, so it takes a little bit of force, but then you just cinch it down once you hit that 10 Newton-meter torque limit. Once it's nice and tight, you can go to the rear one, and it's just the repeat of the front one. You thread the bolts in by hand initially, make sure you don't cross-thread them. Line them up, and there's also 2 positions here, so this is the default position, but you can see you can offset them even more. And overall, the whole rack is about 63 pounds, so not the lightest one on the market, but still easy enough to carry from or to your vehicle if you need to uninstall it. You can see a mallet or something definitely helps with installation, and then you simply repeat the process with the rear arm. Once it's installed, you can see really simple. Both of the arms fold down. You have the little ratchet straps for the rear wheel and the tilt mechanism that's easy to modulate and bring up and lock into place. You also have a lock key on the SpeedKnob, so you can secure it to your vehicle. Now let's take a look at the rack in action. Here we have it installed on our Ford F-150 with a specialized tarmac on here. It's a lightweight carbon fiber road bike, but the rack is designed for e-bikes, heavier bikes, fat tires, just about anything in between, and they have additional accessories like ramps that make it easier to unload and load. You can see we had the cable lock on there, really simple to use, same key as the SpeedKnob, so it provides a little bit extra security. You take that off, take the rear ratchet off, and then take the strong arm by just pushing it down, pulling it up and away from the bike, so really easy. The contact points are nice and large and very easy to handle, and it's a very intuitive design, so that's a nice thing about this rack. And you can see it's very overbuilt as well. Everything feels nice and strong. Once you have the bike off, you can fold the pivot arm down, put the ratchet strap back in its original spot, and then tilt the bike rack up to get it out of the way. With this new version, obviously it's all black, so it doesn't really have any accent colors, it doesn't really stick out, but still feels really nicely made. And it also has a tilt feature, so you can tilt the whole thing downward, and you can see you can access your trunk or your hatch really easily. If you look at it from the other angle, you can see it tilts down quite a bit. Obviously if you have bikes on there, it's a little bit heavier, but even with a few bikes on there, it's still easy to tilt. It'll stop at the bottom, and it has really simple set points for the main position and then the upward tilt position. Loading a bike is also really simple. You just position it on the front rack, and then on the rear you just get it closed. Put the strong arm down, and you can see you just put a little pressure down, and it has a ratcheting mechanism to lock into place, so you know it's secure. And then the ratchet strap, you just put it between your spokes and then pull down. And then you can see it's nice and secure, so even on highways and rough roads it works well. The tilt handle's easy to use. It has a nice little red decal that indicates it's not locked into place, but it does feel cheap. So you can see it kind of moves around. It's plastic. Would have been nice if it was nicer material or metal. The strong arm has a nice contact point, big handle, and again the ratcheting mechanism lets you just push down. We also really like the cable lock, so it provides a little bit extra security. I wouldn't park this overnight somewhere. It's a very thin cable lock, but it makes it really easy just to secure it in place if you're running inside and you have bikes on there. It's also really easy to store, so it's all internal and goes around your head tube really easily. Now we've actually reviewed the original Yakima StageTwo, so if you happen to have the original, you can see the comparison right here. The trays now have a V shape to them rather than just being flat. And that makes it easier for positioning the bike, so it naturally wants to go in the V. So definitely a nice improvement. It has the same ratcheting mechanisms for the rear wheel, and then you can see the front one's nice and deep. So it's the same as before, and it works really well as well. So you can see it can accommodate e-bikes, fat tire bikes, and simple road bikes with all the different cutouts on them. And overall really easy to use, but you can see the big difference really is the color change, and then the channel itself has been modified, which is a nice improvement. So it definitely improves the usability of it as it's easier to put on and take off. You can see the strong arms, the same design, same cable locks, and even after 3 years of use here, you can see there's some marking on there, but still works just as well. It's not spring loaded like the Ceres Edge, but that means the spring won't wear out. You don't have any issues, but very easy to bring up and down, even if you store it outside. The other big difference here is the speed knob. With the old one, you can see it's a knurled metallic finish, but it's cylindrical, so it's not that ergonomic. But with the new one, it's a tapered cone design, so that means you can actually hold it in different positions. And although it looks cheaper and feels cheaper, it works better overall. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Yakima StageTwo. What we like about it is a very robust design, so it's definitely overbuilt with the steel structure, really clean welds, and high quality build, so it'll definitely last, and it has a high weight limit because of that of 70 pounds per tray. You also have the integrated locks in the arms, so it doesn't really contact any of the frame points, and you have the simple cable locks that come out right at the top, so it's a very easy way to add a little bit of security if you're stopped somewhere with the bikes on the rack. And there's even a little hook that's welded onto the main base where you can run additional locks. We also like the updated deep V trays, which make it really easy and stable, so when you're putting the bike on or taking it off, it naturally will stand up rather than kind of sliding side to side. As far as negatives, we would have liked to see a nicer handle. It works really well, it's easy to tilt, but it's plastic and it feels cheap compared to the rest of the rack. And also with the update, they've eliminated the color, so it would have been nice to have some color options or some accents like you see with some other racks on the market to make it stand out a little bit more. Taking everything into account, would give the rack a 9.2 out of 10. It's a really easy to use and overbuilt rack that's great for 2 to 4 bikes. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.